Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be playing some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Okay, well technically I already played the game, I'm just recording the audio afterwards. I am capturing this using a capture device that I hook my Xbox One to, and while it does have an audio port for a microphone, I can't seem to get it to work properly. For some reason, it just won't sync up the audio correctly. So the gameplay Modern Warfare here, you can hear the audio, but then you can barely make out my voice at all, and I do not know why that is. Some sound mixing issues, maybe, I don't know. But I'm aware that this isn't an issue that's just limited to me. It could just be a defect on the manufacturer's side. I don't know, but I can't even return this thing. It's been too long. Anyways, so Modern Warfare Remastered itself. By this point, it's been close to, I think, about 3 years now since the game came out. If you guys recall, 3 years ago, they announced Call of Duty Infinite Warfare 2, which to this day has gotten some of the worst, most negative reception of any YouTube video. One of the worst receptions, anyways, like most disliked videos, to be more specific. I was pretty indifferent to it. I can understand why a lot of people weren't very fond of it. I mean, by this point we had Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3, so to have a third game 3 years in a row to be futuristic, that kind of got a bit... I could agree that it was becoming a little tiring. It was also the first game that did not make an appearance on last generation platforms, so it was... last gen players, myself included, kind of got left behind because we could not experience the game. That being said, the previous year's game, Black Ops 3, had a really awful port on last generation platforms. I actually have it just for novelty's sake. It's really not good, and I'll get to that when I get to playing Black Ops 3, but for now, let's talk about Modern Warfare. So, Modern Warfare Remastered. Yeah, it's a remaster of a 2007 game. I played the game multiple times. Played it, I think the first time I played it, I think it was on Wii? Yeah, I think I played it on the Wii first, and then played it on the PS3, and now the Xbox One. So, I played it at least 3 times. Now, that is the single player. Single player, it's still pretty good. Ending's a bit anticlimactic, if I'm going to be a bit honest. I mean, really, you go through... After everything that you go through, he just goes down... The main villain just goes down in one hit, just like that. It's a bit... expecting a bit more, but whatever. I think the sequel's more to make up for it. Now, as for on the multiplayer side, this is where things get a little more tricky, because I did not experience the multiplayer on the Wii. I don't think I had like home internet at the time. I was still using internet off my family's cell phone. Yeah, it's just as bad as it's about as bad as it sounds. Really, it was so slow, and I couldn't even get into any matches. As for that's the Wii version. PlayStation 3, okay, I bought the Game of the Year edition, which comes with all the DLC packed onto the disc, something that the remaster does not do, but I'll get to that in a moment. So, every time I tried playing the multiplayer, it would not load. It would not load at all, and as a result, I was unable to really experience it. And when I was able to experience it, some some hacker messed with my stats and had me all. And next thing I remember, I was all completely ranked up, and that really ruined the experience for me, if I'm being quite honest. It really did. I mean, I'd like to actually work for new weapons and all that stuff. It's really off-putting when somebody just gives it to you just like that by cheating, really. That being said, I really didn't experience much of the original Modern Warfare's multiplayer at all, really. Maybe a couple matches and that's it. I even have some old videos up on this channel too. Not much, really, to talk about. But as for the remaster, well, I can say I'm having a good time. For starters, the great thing about this remaster, everything looks incredible. It really does. Like, everything from the better, whether it be the UI, the textures, character models, environments, everything looks so much better, and they did a good job on that, on the visuals, that's for sure. That being said, couple things I have a problem with. Well, for starters, Activision infamously bundled this game, as you may or may not have known, with Infinite Warfare. So you had to buy the Legacy Edition or Legacy Pro Edition to get Modern Warfare Remastered. You could not buy it separately. So in a sense, it was kind of like a pre-order bonus, but at the same time, you had to pay an additional $60 for a game that you didn't want just to get the game that you actually wanted. That's kind of sounds a little greedy of them. Really. And understandably, a lot of people were very upset by that. Honestly, in my opinion, they could have just gone away with releasing Modern Warfare Remastered in 2016, and I think it would have sold so much better. Really, it would have. I mean, given the negative reception of Infinite Warfare, they really could have just put that on the back burner, delayed it by a year, have everybody play Modern Warfare Remastered for 1 year, and then do some futuristic stuff. I think that would have turned out a little better, but Activision, they wanted to make more money, but really, they kind of shot themselves in the foot, in my opinion. Now, in terms of the content itself, well, it's pretty much the same as the original. Obviously you have the campaign, and you also have the multiplayer. Spec Ops is something that did not exist until Modern Warfare 2, so that's not here. That being said, in terms of the multiplayer content, this is where things get a little controversial. So as I mentioned earlier, there was a Game of the Year edition for Modern Warfare on the PlayStation 3. This included all of the multiplayer maps. That is, the multiplayer maps available at launch and the DLC pack known as the Variety Pack. That was originally sold for about $10 on last-gen platforms. It still is, which almost seems like a ripoff now to think about it. $10 for a DLC for a game that's 12 years old by this point. That's quite a bit, all things considered. That being said, they actually had the nerve of selling the same DLC separately. Think about that. Every other remaster this generation, or even last generation, always included the DLC with the remaster. Like take say, I'm trying to think of an example here. I'd say oh yes, Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. Okay, that included all of the single-player content. Granted, there was no multiplayer, but still, you had all the DLC, I think. Okay, no. My mistake, my mistake. I can't remember about that one. But you guys get my point here. Every other remaster always had everything bundled together. That's generally a rule of thumb, and unfortunately, Activision decided not to do that, and that's kind of screams greedy. Really. And what's worse is that the DLC is even more expensive than the original. So, as I mentioned earlier, $9.99 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. That is the DLC, the Variety Map Pack. You get I think you get like 4 maps in total as DLC, and that same map pack is being sold here separately on Xbox One and PS4, and it's being sold for $14.99. That is Canadian dollars, by the way. I think actually no. I think it was around $20. I can't remember, but it was. I'm pretty sure it was more expensive than the original, and understandably that made people even more angry. And obviously, when you sell DLC, not everybody's gonna buy it. So people who own the DLC may find it a little harder to get into matches that where they'll be playing on the DLC map, since not everybody owns it. And that's generally a common issue with just about every Call of Duty game that has DLC, especially particularly ones that have the season pass system. You know, for every game they sell you 4 content packs that get released throughout the year. Some people may skip out on one, so that makes it hard to get into a match. Again, I'll get into that when I get into the Black Ops games, but for now, let's focus on Modern Warfare exclusively. Yeah, now for me personally, I actually did get the Variety Map Pack, but I got it on sale for about $10, so really, I did not lose out on too much money. And now this game also introduces the supply drops, and I'm sure you guys know how it works. You pay money to get in-game weapons. Only in Modern Warfare's case, you have all these. They include all these new weapons and unlockable skins for them. All this other cosmetic stuff. I think I really never paid it. I didn't really pay attention to it. I just used whatever depot points I get, save them up, get whatever skins I get. I'll take whatever skins I get. I admit, some of them do look nice, but then some of them come off really goofy. A bit too goofy, maybe. You do get about 5 of them just for buying the DLC, and I admit, it can be a bit addicting, and understandably I can see that why a lot of people are angry about the whole supply drops inclusion. Really, I do. You only get about, I think, okay, so if I recall, you need a minimum of 10 depot points just to get one supply drop. That is one common supply drop, and usually you only get like 1 to 3 credits per game, so that is it's quite a bit. If you just want to get one supply drop, that's at minimum of 3 games, if not more. And understandably, there's no doubt in my mind, plenty of kids or young players, they've gone for it because they just, well, obviously they want to have their guns look good. I don't mind the skins. Again, I don't mind the skins, but really, these sorts of things could easily be placed in the game. But, you know, Activision, again, wants to make money. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but that's a fact. What I neglected to mention, actually, was that when I actually got I actually got Call of Duty Modern Warfare as part of the Legacy Pro Edition. That is the Infinite Warfare Legacy Pro Edition. So I got Infinite Warfare plus the Season Pass plus Modern Warfare, which I think was normally over $100, I think. I got that for around $50, which, all things considered, is pretty cheap by Activision standards, because the season pass itself costs like $60 now, $60 to $80, I think, and that, in my opinion, is just too much, really. Really, it costs, the season pass costs just as much as the game. I really could just, for that same amount of money, I could literally buy just about every Call of Duty game find a used copy of every other Call of Duty game on the cheap. Really, I could. Yeah, so I got Modern Warfare Remastered along with it. I gotta say, I really wish that it actually came on a disc instead of just being built as a sort of verification code. But, you know, I think I got my money's worth, really. I do. A bit expensive, but whatever. I'm enjoying the game, and I'm sure to upload more content in the future. So, thank you guys for watching this first video, and see you next time. Bye.